We come to you guys with some breaking wrestling news and speculation regarding LA Knight's status in WWE, and there are now breaking rumors going around that LA Knight is walking out of WWE and quitting the company, and perhaps leaving for greener pastures very soon. Now, LA Knight has definitely been one of the fastest rising superstars in recent memory, as he essentially went from a glorified enhancement talent that WWE Creative had absolutely no plans for, to wrestling against Roman Reigns for the undisputed championship in the main event of Crown Jewel a year later, and this was all because of LA Knight's talents. Knight got himself over with the WWE Universe to the point that the company could no longer overlook him. Fans were chanting for LA Knight everywhere the WWE went, and the company had to give in and push Knight accordingly. However, even though LA Knight has been over like a main event superstar for months now, one thing has become very clear, and that Triple H and WWE are not fully behind LA Knight and are actually beginning to bury Knight in all honesty. Yes, LA Knight got the massive win over AJ Styles at WrestleMania 40 this past April, but that was arguably the last time LA Knight was booked well in WWE, because despite holding that WrestleMania win over AJ Styles, it was AJ who would take the win back right after WrestleMania over LA Knight to earn an undisputed title match with Cody Rhodes, which basically made Knight's win over Styles at WrestleMania completely meaningless, because despite the loss, it was still AJ Styles who got the title match with Cody over LA Knight, which definitely upset a lot of wrestling fans, as it was the classic 50-50 booking, and actually Knight lost the more important match to AJ Styles, as an undisputed title match was on the line in their April 19th SmackDown rematch, which was literally only 2 weeks after the showcase of the Immortals. Since that loss to AJ Styles in the rematch, things have unfortunately went downhill big time for LA Knight in WWE, as he just recently lost to Tama Tonga in the King and Queen of the Ring quarterfinal match on SmackDown this past week, a booking decision that was not surprisingly called into question by a majority of the WWE Universe. Some fans pointed out following Knight's loss to Tama Tonga this past Friday that WWE are basically slowly derailing the momentum of LA Knight with these recent unnecessary losses, and that it's becoming more and more clear that the chances of LA Knight ever becoming a champion in WWE, especially a world champion, are going right out the window with the recent horrendous booking. No doubt Tama Tonga needs to look strong in his early WWE matches to help continue rebuilding the credibility of the bloodline, but it came at the expense of LA Knight, and not only are a lot of fans not happy about it, LA Knight himself is reportedly furious with his recent WWE booking, and could be planning to take a stand and make a shocking decision regarding his future in wrestling. Now, the argument that some fans have regarding the sentiments of many that WWE have been burying LA Knight is that, don't worry, LA Knight is going to be winning the United States Championship at SummerSlam or in the near future from Logan Paul, and while that may be Triple H's and WWE's plans, the rumored opinion of LA Knight is that he feels the United States title is beneath him at this point with the level of momentum he has with fans, and that the only title he wants to be fighting for, and potentially winning, is the Undisputed Championship, the top prize of Friday Night SmackDown and WWE overall, but one of our insider sources shared some information that basically lets us know that WWE don't plan for LA Knight to be a world champion anytime soon, revealing, so LA Knight's direction in WWE has been a hot topic among wrestling fans recently, with the booking that Knight has received following WrestleMania 40, specifically losing to AJ Styles in their rematch on SmackDown, which was the match to determine Cody Rhodes' challenger for the undisputed title at Backlash France, and then most recently, LA Knight's loss to Tama Tonga in the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, two booking decisions that have caused a lot of fans to question what the heck Hunter and WWE are doing with LA Knight. Like, are they trying to bury Knight? Well, what we've heard is that while Triple H commends LA Knight for changing the trajectory of his WWE career by getting over and connecting with the fan base, that doesn't mean that Knight's going to be getting the world title, which is what Knight is reportedly going after. We've heard that Triple H feels like there are a lot of similarities between LA Knight and former WWE superstar Zack Ryder, in that they both had a great look, were decent in the ring, and connected big time with the WWE universe. But that didn't mean Zack Ryder was going to be pushed like a top star long term, which he wasn't, and Hunter reportedly feels like in the long term, LA Knight is a solid mid-card act and not much more than that, with the belief among some officials behind the scenes is that LA Knight's popularity has already peaked and is beginning to go down slowly, which is what WWE had originally expected with LA Knight's explosion of popularity last year. We suppose WWE looked at Knight's popularity as a bit of a fad that they would capitalize with Knight's brief push into the title picture with Roman Reigns, but that was about as far as WWE were willing to go with LA Knight. And now the company apparently view Knight's ceiling in WWE around the United States title level. Now, from what we've heard, LA Knight is very unhappy about being essentially typecast in WWE as a mid-card level talent, which means the United States Championship would be as far as Knight goes in WWE in terms of accomplishments, and one source did mention that the plan was for LA Knight to feud with Logan Paul for the United States title at SummerSlam this year, but that may not happen if LA Knight chooses to walk out of WWE. A new backstage report has revealed that LA Knight is currently strongly considering the option of walking out of WWE and asking for his release when he still has some serious momentum, and making the move to another wrestling company like AEW that would utilize him as a main event caliber talent, which is what LA Knight reportedly feels he deserves. And there is backstage speculation that Triple H has got wind of LA Knight's frustrations over his booking or where WWE view Knight in the grand scheme of things, and would apparently not be opposed to granting Knight's release if he was serious about walking away from WWE, as Triple H doesn't want LA Knight to be here if he doesn't want to be, and that Knight's frustrations won't change Hunter's mind about his position on the card, so it's apparently sort of a take it or leave it kind of attitude from Triple H right now regarding LA Knight possibly wanting out of WWE, and let us know if you guys feel LA Knight should follow in the footsteps of WWE stars like Cesaro, Andrade, Rusev, and others who felt they were mistreated in WWE and ended up leaving for another company, in these cases, All Elite Wrestling? Or do you feel Knight should be happy that the United States title is still in his future, should he choose to rethink things and stay in WWE? Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.